Hakeem once told me, he says, a toxin is anything that you do not assimilate or eliminate, by definition. And that is what trauma really is. It's just something that you are so overwhelmed by a trauma, an experience, whether shock or childhood. And some people call the shock trauma the capital T trauma, and the childhood trauma little t. I personally believe the childhood trauma is actually the capital T.
Right.
Right. Just because of the implications are so much deeper. Shock trauma is more of a nervous system type of disturbance where the childhood trauma can become a total overhaul of one's sense of self, one's sense of belief about who they are and what the world is the world safe or not safe? So many people come to me and say, look, I blame God for so much that has happened to me. Why would he do that? And I can't find love. I've been married 2-3 times, and there's something with relationally that comes in constantly, that comes in the way of me being able to really be happy. And it's like they want to be happy, they want connection, and yet connection terrifies them away from not connecting. And this is the paradox of trauma, specifically childhood trauma. And so these are things that we have to work with. Absolutely. Our ibadah is on the line. Our akhirah is on the line potentially because of these things. My belief is that this is ar-rahmah. Through and through. Through and through, this is rahmah. But we have to allow people, to not shame themselves, not be shamed, to understand what's going on here, bring it back to Allah, and then find good help to allow them to move through these different stages and out of it. Right? It's so important that this happens. It's so important that this happens. And, we have this idea of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, but there's also this other thing that is possible through trauma, which is post-traumatic growth, which is I would say the maqsad, the objective, the real meaning of it is that you go through this and you come out stronger. That there is a type of response that the soul is roused to make to the challenge. And in that, you're awoken. In that, you're mobilized. In that, if you allow it, you can come back to life again if you've been stuck. How many times do we know of people that have been stuck, depressed, sad, just totally disconnected and dissociated from themselves, and then something will happen in their lives, maybe the loss of a loved one. And I've seen this. And they'll be now, for example, the eldest son is like this. The eldest son now becomes the leader of the household. And the loss of the father is big, of course. And yet you see them also grieving, but also something comes out of them. And now they can lead. And now they're kind of awoken to mortality. They're awoken to responsibility. They're awoken to life. And you see that. And it's a very powerful thing to witness. And if someone like that shares their story with you, you will be affected by that story because it is a transformation of the soul, ultimately. Right? The human soul, of the animal soul, whatever you want to call it, There's different aspects of the soul, but these are such important things that we have to allow people to go through. And I believe firmly that our people in the past, Allah Ta'ala alam how they did it, but the nature of the community, the nature of the tribe was such that there was a natural container for these types of things. Always. There was love, there was connection, there was holding space, there was witnessing, there was the elder that would bless you with their, the rub on the head and say, I can't wait to see good things from you, young lad. And the father may not be able to say that properly, even though he might feel that. But the relationship is so muddled, perhaps, between parent and child. Like you mentioned, shiddatul hubb kind of stunts the growth or disconnects the child from their greater self, from God, from their fitrah. That's amazing. And it's true. And that's why they say in initiation, the father cannot initiate his son.
Right.
Nor can the mother, of course, for sure. But the father can't do it either as another man, because there's too much at stake. This is my baby boy. But that's why you need another man to bless, if you will, if I can use that word, to bless the child, to see the child and to acknowledge the child and to nourish that child along into adulthood and into his place in society. See, that was standard somehow. That was all there. People would eat together. They'd worship together. Kadris Watts one time mentioned in a talk that he gave that the Mawlid itself and other institutions of dhikr, for example, the standing hadra, were things that the ulama made ijtihad over after recognizing that there was a type of trauma that has affected the community.
Right.
What a musibah. People have lost connection with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What a horrible fitna, what a disease we've been afflicted by. How do we fix this? Together, feed them, celebrate the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, spray the rose water on people, have them make dua, and the love returns.
Right.
The hadra, men being disconnected from one another and themselves. And so what do? We stand together, we hold hands, we move in unison, we make dhikr together. There is some drum, there is some sort of music or something, some inshad, some sama, just to bring the hearts and bring the bodies together. There was a recognition of the somatic piece. That's so important. We need to bring that creativity to this time. What do we need to bring today? And I'll put this back onto the ulama, because this is something that it should come from them. It should be blessed with the tradition in some way. It should be validated, perhaps, at least.